Hello, today we will continue with our reading series. And for the lesson today, we will use my music reading that repeated in paper tests as well as computer tests in recent months. Now, today we will be working with matching information. The difference between matching information and matching headings is that for matching heading, we need to know the main topic of a paragraph. While matching information, we just need to find whether if the information they gave us belong to what paragraph. So you need to look for more details. And we will also be working with fill in the blanks and matching names. For matching names, you can see that there are 5 questions and only 4 names. So they said you may use any letter more than once, meaning that there is one name that will be repeated. And because there are matching names, while we read, we will highlight the name that we see. Okay, so before we start analyzing this part, let's see what keyword for question 5 to 8. So I will start with my usual process, which is reading one paragraph and working with the question. But I will not be thinking about question 5 to 8 until I see Goldsmith. Now, for matching information, it's really important to know your keywords, okay? Because you would not have to read as much if you have the correct keywords. So let's see from number 1 to number 4. Number 1, the keywords for number 1 should be characteristic and songs, right? So please pause for about 30 seconds and determine your keywords and then compare it with mine, okay? Now for number 2, justification. So maybe you don't know this word, but it means a good reason for doing something. So it means a good reason for doing research into earworms. Number 3, known and unknown songs. So this is straightforward, right? I don't need to explain this. And number 4, is different age groups. Now, I'm not saying that the other words are not important, but these are the main words that we think about. And this, when we read, you will see what I mean. Now let's pause for 30 seconds. Read paragraph A and try to see if any information match with question 1 to 4. Okay, so clearly, we can see that paragraph A have no mention of different age groups, no and no song or characteristic. What's left is number 2. You can see in this part here, they say some neuroscientists and cognitive psychologists are studying earworms to explore the mysteries of memory, blah, blah, blah. So they're giving reason for studying, researching earworms. And therefore, the answer for number 2 will be paragraph A. Okay, so you see what I mean about the keywords. One more thing, we see the name, right? And so please remember to highlight that so we can go back and do it easier. You can, right? You can go down here and start matching this name too. Is up to you. But because like I'm giving instructions, so it's harder for me to just scroll up and scroll down. But while we here, let's just try to see if any information match this researcher. Okay. So based on this sentence, the idea that we have full control over our thought process is an illusion. Illusion means it's something we think. It's not true. And therefore it should be similar, right? The same meaning with number 10. Unable to completely regulate, completely control how they think. And this should be A2. When you practice at home, you can do this, but right now I'm just showing, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll go in order. Now please pause to finish paragraph B. Okay, so we know that this is a difficult reading. When we read paragraph B and we don't see, we cannot answer question from 1 to 4, right? There's no matching. There's no characteristic of song, no and no song or different age groups. And this indicate that this can be a difficult reading. But one good thing is that we see the keyword here. So maybe we can do number 5. So for number 5, they said that volunteer record the rhythm of music using a monitor on there. And we need to find words that's similar or same meaning with monitor and record the rhythm. You can see it here. A device attached to their wrist recorded their movement. So a device means a monitor, right? Record their movement, record the rhythm. And attached to their wrist would be on their wrist. Number 6, let's see, can I do number 6? Further research. Okay, paragraph B also answer number 6 too, because we have further research and we have another study, and they are the same meaning. So we're trying to see part of the brains that deal with something differently. These are the key words. There's only one sentence. So, different brain structure is right here. Different brain structure area associated with processing emotion. Processing means deal with. And therefore, the answer for number 6 is emotion. Now, let's move on. Let's pause and read paragraph C. And for this part, number 7, we see that Dr. Stewart believe that the brain is blah, 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 by earworms when it is not focused. So we need to find part that have similar meaning to this. Uh, so we have this part. You see the word unoccupied. Unoccupied means not busy, not thinking about anything. So that is similar with not focused. And they said keep the brain entertained while it is otherwise unoccupied. So it means the brain is entertained by earworms when it is not focused. And I've read this part. We can answer number 8 based on paragraph C too. So please try to do it by yourself. Now they said the reduction in occurrence of earworms mean you hear earworms less often when and they say the more challenging the activity, the less likely the volunteers were to hear the music. Less likely to hear means the reduction, and the challenging the activity means the task. So related to how challenging the task was. Okay. But when we go back to number 1 and 3, 4, we still cannot answer anything. It probably will be very scattered then. So maybe now let's try to do number 9 to 13. And while we read, if any of these keyword come up, we will go back. Now, paragraph D, I see a name. So let's try to read this. Mm. Okay, so have you finished reading? Can you find any answer over here? We can see that there's a sentence here. We can remember songs without knowing that we have heard them. And they said that even tunes you may have heard but didn't pay attention to can worm their way into your subconscious, meaning that we don't know, right? We didn't know that we listened to it, but it was playing and it still get into our head. So this would be B. Her name's here. And there's no keyword up here. So let's keep reading. Paragraph E. There's another name here, but it's not in the in the list, so I'm not highlighting that. But I see another answer, right? They said that fragments of a song that repeats and it looks back rather than moving on. Meaning that's a part, right? A part of a songs is replay like over and over. And that would mean the same with question 13. Earworms are more persistent when only a short section of the song constantly replayed. And because the name here is human, so it's B again. Right. So they only CD for 9 and 12. It's not gonna repeat any more time. One name, like for this kind of task, one name repeat one time and that's it. No more. Paragraph F. Hmm. So they said imagining music and actually listen to music. We see that their thinking about music has similar effect on the brain to hearing music. So you can keep reading, but I will not, I can stop here and I still know that the answer should be for number 12 should be C. But of course we need to read more because we still have 1, 3, and 4 unfinished. Oh, okay. So now we can answer the upper part. They have familiar music, unfamiliar music would mean the same with known and unknown songs, right? So even if I don't read everything, I know that the answer for number 3 had to be F. There's no mention in any other paragraph. Now, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Two more paragraph. So the answer for 2, 1, and 4 must be down there. And we have only question 9. Paragraph G. Please pause and read. So we know because there's only one name left, right? So we know that question 9 must be D. But I can show you the answer right here. How producer pump pop song full of aura host the punchy melody phrases, blah, blah, blah. So they're saying about how musicians create music that intentionally memorable. It's this part. They wanted to make that. And if you keep reading, you see the last sentence. Song with earworm potential appear to share certain features. Share certain feature means the characteristic of the same song. And this would be G. And without reading, there's a high chance that number 4 answer should be H. But I would go ahead and find the answer too. Mm-hmm. different stages of life, different age groups. So I'm 99% sure that number 4 answer should be age. Okay. So this is pretty difficult, I think, because you can see that the answer scatter everywhere except for this part. This part is easy, but the other part, the answer scatter all over the reading. But it's okay with practice and following the process. You can pretty much work with any reading, even when we're not knowing every vocabulary, right? You can still find the word you know and have a good chance of guessing. So yeah, I think this should be the last reading that I give instruction on. The important thing is just practicing and learning new vocabulary. Okay, so if you want materials, you can join my as a member on my channel, and then I can send the package to you for practicing. But if you don't want to, it's totally fine. Just use Cambridge books. It's great source too. Okay, so bye bye and good luck on your